Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Rykadi. Let's continue purging the prison. Prison guard key. Severed human body parts. The chopped up slabs of flesh have been thoroughly washed of any blood.
That wasn't so difficult.
The symbol before you bears a familiar scent, that of the dark forces of chaos. Heresy is afoot. Prison Diary of Adi Shan, Part 3. I'm scared. I should have known all that charity from the warden was going to bring nothing but trouble. No noble, no matter how barmy, would pull anything of the sort, but that man. It started with the little things. The warden would come by to talk as he did, except he used to ask us questions before. Now he was mostly gushing sermons. Some gibberish about a path to purgation, the sanctity of sacrifice, seeing with blinded eyes. I listened and nodded. Yes, Master Warden. Of course, Master Warden. He could say whatever rubbish he wanted, as long as the tasty Optimate meals kept coming. I thought everyone else was doing the same, nodding just to please the big man. I was wrong. After that, people in the barracks started yapping on about purgation and blindness too. Apparently, us Optimates were no longer just the Warden's favorites. We were, Emperor forgive me, prophets of some kind who were meant to save the rest of this sorry lot. Or awaken them. Or make them see. Some rubbish along those lines. People were now supposed to make sacrifices to Optimates. Yesterday, the sap who slept in this bed under me in my first year here cut off his own darn ear and crawled on his knees toward me. He handed me the ear and begged me not to forsake him when the fateful hour came. What in the throne am I supposed to do with an ear? Why is everyone, every single one, staring at me all the time? The warden said the time was nigh, that fate had truly great things in store for the Optimates. I went to look how my good friend Clenson was doing. He hadn't spoken for 3 months ever since I had all his top teeth ripped out. He spoke today. He looked straight at me and said, "Dead man." I kept hitting him until it hurt me. Now my fists and feet are all bruised. Half the barracks stood there and watched, and prayed. I'm scared. Judging by the number of horrid morsels, dozens of victims were slain here.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Yeah, something tells me when we find these Optimates, they won't be entirely human.
Duty prevails.
My brethren, the dawn is nigh. The Optimates will guide us into a new existence. Yes, yes, dear brethren. Have a taste of my steel. Oh, how I've longed for this, my dear brethren. Thank the throne. Normal-looking faces. We thought we were going to die here with these nutters. The old man with the gap-toothed smile drops his weapon and holds out his hands in a placating gesture. Please don't shoot us, your nobleness. Let us speak a word. Well, this is a welcome change. Talking before shooting. Still, Lord Captain, the look of this ragtag bunch hardly inspires trust. Give me a reason not to execute you on the spot. Here's the deal. We're honest, quiet inmates. We didn't want to riot. But, well, sitting it out wasn't really an option either. The warden's lapdogs made short work of those who refused to join in the festivities. So we had to, you know, play along. That's all it was, play. We never meant no offense to Governor Medina, nor the lawful authority of House Winterscale. You give us a chance, eh? We just want to wait until everything blows over. We go back to ourselves and quietly do the rest of our time. A repentant, honest heretic. How novel. Judging by Abelard's tone, the seneschal was utterly unimpressed by the old man's ingratiating monologue. The low-born speeches modeled the colors that conceal his true, darker hues. This old man has a long history of lies. He's using his wiles on us as well. But I see no foul corruption or ill intent in his words. Tell me more about the Warden and the riot. Pa, why soil your tongue talking about that heretic? But if you insist, here's how it is. The Warden of this here prison, the Honorable Master Castiglia, was a crackpot from the start. The previous Warden ran things the proper way. Prayer, 1 meal a day, work, a punch in the chompers from the guards, work again. But the new one, you know what his first decree was? He introduced lunches and dinners. By the 9 devils, that's 3 meals a day. The man was obviously stark raving mad. Things only went downhill from there. The guards quit it with the teeth punching. The Warden forbade them. Instead, the Overseer started counting which prisoners were digging up more things in the quarry, or swinging their pickaxes harder and whatnot. And then, would you believe it? They put together a list of best workers. And if someone on that list showed good behavior, that's when they get promoted to an optimate. That's the upper crust among us jailbirds. Or that's how it was at first. Then the Warden decided it's the optimates, not the guards, who should be in charge of punishments. And that it wasn't the Overseer's job to watch the prisoners work. It was the optimates. Well, let me tell you, that's when these goody two-shoes really started to shine. The guards aren't even in the same league as our dear fellows, the optimates. In the old days, we had maybe 5 or 10 stiffs kicking it a week. And now we were lucky if it was only 50. And that wasn't even the end of it. Warden Castiglia moved out of his chambers to live right in the quarry, under the dome. I think something in his new home really scrambled his brain. He began spouting the wildest things like the optimates are saints, who will behold the truth. And he started taking them to the quarry. Not all of them returned. The ones who did, you wouldn't recognize them, more beast than man. They were butchering people left and right, even guards, and overseers. The Warden himself had armed them. That's the whole sob story. But I knew it from the moment he let us have dinners. Oh, this won't end well. Adira nods knowingly. The old codger's right. Whenever nobles start giving handouts to commoners, something always goes wrong. She notices your look and catches herself. I mean that with all due respect, your lordship. No offense intended. I came across a void ship in the system belonging to your associates. They told me some interesting things about you and your planned escape. The man grunts, huffs, and makes up his mind. Well, now that's out of the bag. Our fellows were supposed to come get us a long time ago, but they got tied up somewhere, Void Kraken's gullet with them. And in all this time we had to wait, this happened. Pardon me for trying to pull the synth wool over you. It's just that we want nothing to do with this whole Warden nonsense. So what now? Will you let us go? Adira cracks her neck. Sure, no problem. Today you tell us a little lie. Tomorrow you stick a torpedo in our side from that ship of yours. If it doesn't fall apart the moment our helmsman sneezes in its general direction. Alright, the best roleplay decision is option 6. I consider your request denied. Now die. Clumps of dust, but no trace of weapons or gear. This storage has not been used in some time. Axe and a blast gun.
Is there money to be made?
Hey, what's that?
Diviner's staff, another gas cloud grenade, and a medikit. I was going to say medkit. Bowhammer, and a saturated cape. A shotgun pistol. Bowhammer is popular with many naval ships' officers as well as crew chiefs who need an intimidating weapon. Shotguns knock enemies back when shot at effective range. Might give that to Abelard. And a saturated cape. When the wearer uses Endure, they immediately remove one of the effects on them in the following order: burning, poison, bleeding. I mean, the Mantle of Heroism is pretty good. But I haven't been using Heroic Axe that often, at least yet. Now, the Saturated Cape is more circumstantial. She's dogmatic. Alright. I do like the melting effect. Keep that as our secondary weapon, I think. And you want somebody to use that. Or better yet, let's do this instead. That'll give her a better ranged option. Oh, maybe not better, but another one in case she has to reload. Oh, we have other companions we'll find eventually, so I'd hold on to that for now. Oh, it's below us.
Keep your wits about you.
A corpse in a uniform decorated with the Winter Scale coat of arms. The dead guard did not even have time to draw a weapon. The attack must have come as a surprise.
I always keep my options open.
We can always get back to the ship and leave if we wanted to. Let's go to the open pit. The accretions on the outside of the structure indicate some regularly occurring natural phenomenon, possibly poison gas emissions.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Do a quick save here. The evidence suggests that the victim was killed by poison gas. We leveled up. Let's do that before the pretty obvious upcoming fight. So we get a talent and a skill that we can upgrade. Sorry. Dropped a pen. I was going back through my notes to see which ones I wanted. Seize the initiative would be really good. I got... no respite already. I think I'll do Leader's Assault first. So whenever the officer makes an attack, they gain +5 fellowship until the end of combat. And a talent will go with Persuasion's at 70, Coercion's at 60. I'll stick with Persuasion. At least for now. And for Abelard, he also gets a skill and a talent. No more points in a corral, so instead we'll do Athletics. That's probably worth it. Where is... Oh, disarm. So when the warrior uses a single shot attack or a melee attack against a target, the warrior gains a % armor against attacks made by that target for 1 round. It scales with toughness. If we're ever fighting a boss, or a single target boss, not a one with ads, that'd come in very handy. It's only at 5. Let's go with the weak body, weak soul, because we do use exposed weakness. So exposed weakness also reduces enemies' toughness and willpower by that formula for 1 round. Then a talent. I'll probably go with something down here. I like this. Psychic Barrage would go really well with her Chain Lightning. So whenever the Psyker uses a damaging psychic power on targets that are 6 cells or farther from the Psyker, the targets suffer an additional 3 damage. That's spread across multiple targets with her Chain Lightning. Then Argenta gets a talent and a skill. I might go with Rapid Reload. Right now it costs 3 to reload the Flamer. Raccoon Ruin would go really well with the Flamer as well. Use the spray attack, hit 3 enemies, and then you get that for her next attack. But I think Rapid Reload is going to come in handy, because 3 AP is a steep cost to reload the Flamer. Yeah. No Homeworld or Origin talents. We'll save that for the generic talents. Probably Awareness. It's at 50. Demolition's at 65. I won't do Demolition. Lean into that for her. And Cassia gets a talent and a skill. Yeah, let's do Armor of Contempt. So whenever an ally is affected by an officer's ability or talent that grants temporary wounds, that ally's armor is increased by 10% for 1 round, does not stack. And my main character is going to be more focused on persuasion and coercion, so I'll probably give her commerce. This glass-making furnace was used to melt the extracted sand into glass. Bunch of cargo. Cargo, fire grenades, force grenades, and a melted charge. So the area keeps warning us about poison gas. I'm going to equip these adaptive antidotes on everybody. As it gives immunity to toxic damage, but inflicts a -10 penalty to toughness until the end of combat. They probably make up for the lack of toughness with being immune to the primary damage type we're going up against. At least that's my hope. We'll see. Hello. Warden Castiglia. I told you, Evie. They're hiding so much from us. Arrogant mentors, holy brothers and sisters. What have they ever given us? Nothing but a pile of fibs and useless admonitions. The voice of the man sitting with his back to you sounds almost soft. Heedless of everything but what is in front before him. He leans over a prisoner dressed in expensive clothing. But Aurora, she is different. She spoke with me like no one had ever had before. She revealed the truth to me, and now I can reveal it to you. If you just stop struggling for 1 minute. What? The man finally realizes he is not alone and turns to you. He's clutching a long, thin metallic rod with blood dripping off it. We have guests. From the Von Valancius ship, I would wager. Evie, my dear, what do you have? You will have to wait. Do not faint, I beg of you. It's important that you feel everything, including your other eye. Such dreadful shades. Cassie recoils and covers her mouth. The colors of this place, they're putrescent to the core. And these people, the colors are oozing with madness and despair, pain and doom. How do you know who I am? Lies have many faces, but there is only one truth, and it has been laid bare before me. I knew the enemy of the truth would come here sooner or later. You know, we had this guy once. He was a quiet one. One day he walked into a middle-deck bar, threw one back, and then pulled out a gun and started shooting people left and right, without saying a word. Then he shoved the barrel in his mouth and blew his brains out. Our warden here has exactly the same look in his eyes right now. Who is that on the table? My sincerest apologies. Where are my manners? Please, allow me to introduce Yvain Winterscale, younger son of Caligos Winterscale, in the flesh. You know, he was so close to witnessing the truth right before you interrupted our little chat. A fleeting glance at Winterscale's outstretched body is enough to turn your stomach. Torture. The very word makes you cringe in shameful horror. Your mind reels with the memories you have tried unsuccessfully to push to the back of your mind all these years. How dare you, contemptible peasant. For every drop of noble blood you spill, you will pay 100-fold more. Cassie turns to you for support, with an expression that is in equal parts indignant and frightened. Abelard shakes his head somberly. That poor fool. I knew nothing good would come of his naive attempt at negotiating with heretics. However, Yvain appears to still be alive. If we make haste, we might yet save him. Having a scion of House Winterscale in your debt would certainly prove beneficial. What madness have you wrought in this prison? Do you truly want to know? He becomes more animated and runs a hand through his matted hair. You note it has been some time since he last trimmed his nails. This was my garden, where I tried to grow the seedlings of a beautiful future. That was before I realized that there is no future, not in the sense ordinary people understand. We're too attached to this life, to the limitations of our weak bodies, to the short-sightedness of our eyes that can scarcely see. It is also insignificant. The true future lies beyond real space, and the only way to reach it is through a cleansing sacrifice. Do you understand? So, realistically, we should not be questioning him. The more you talk to those infected with chaos, the more likely they are to infect you. But I'm going to inquire regardless. But why did you mutilate these people? These are my optimates. Saints who will guide the flock at the fated hour. Listen. He pauses and smiles. Can you hear? You can't. They are crying out, calling. It's just that their cries are not meant for our ears. They cast their voices out there, beyond the edge of the glass, into the transparent quiet. There they are heard. There, their call is answered. Rogue traitor, every moment spent on talking to this heretic could be a moment spent destroying him and committing this place to purifying flames. Isn't it time we got started? And a second, Argenta. Who is Aurora? Oh, so you've managed to barge in here and interfere with the prophetess's designs without even knowing who she is. But it is too late now. You will never attain sight. All you can do is accept your fate. He suddenly stirs like a predatory beast. I do not like it when people take the prophetess Aurora's name in vain. I desire your death, enemy of the truth. So I wonder if Aurora was the entity in our head. Or the one that was taking on Theodore's visage when we walked through the fire. The warden raises his hand, and the main people start thrashing about in their death throes. The time for words has passed. Optimates, give your power to this harbinger of Aurora. Let our foes see the truth and become awash in blood.
I'll make an example out of you! Crush them!
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. Is a prayer.
Oh, there's two less. Oh, there's a handful back here too.
It's as good as done. Your end was inevitable.
So I'm only supposed to mark him, not actually kill him. Oh, that's alright. Still one less enemy on the field.
Step aside. The navigator is coming. I am a navigator as duty demands.
What a ridiculous ability. Oh gosh.
Can't
Ow.
catch my breath.
Will do. Farewell.
High momentum.
Indeed. Victory is imminent.
This'll leave it scarred.
I like that guy all the way up there. Move towards him and use cover on the way.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
Counts as half cover. I'm assuming this does as well. We'll see. Maybe not on her. Let's give it to Abelard.
Here's my perfect moment.
Interesting.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen.
Do that, and
I'll see to it personally.
take a shot at him, apply melting. Ah, this doesn't count as cover.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
I'll gladly take
There
that.
is movement in
Can I
the
get into a decent
Imperium.
position here? Yeah. I think he already has... Oops, wrong character.
On it.
I no forewarning yet.
High momentum.
Alright, Abelard. Not in charging distance yet.
At your beck and call.
Thunder. Haunting Scream. Better than nothing.
Guided by faith. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless.
It's as good as done.
It will be done.
That's annoying. Alright, let's look at what he's doing here. I'm guessing we just keep killing him until he stops spawning? Oh, there's an unholy lens we can... Okay. We need to attack these things. Did not see those there before.
On it.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
So I'm gonna have Abelard tie him up while everybody else goes after these unholy lenses.
I will do my duty.
Or at least try to. I think voice of command is already on all my companions, right? Oh, not on Abelard.
Emperor, give me strength.
Works for me. And you go after this.
It will be done. your beck and call.
Up here and take care of this guy.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And he'll die to burning next time. We get her back down here.
I refuse.
Or not. Just to play it safe. Go ahead and finish this guy off.
This is unacceptable.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Yay!
Do not dare ask.
That was a big
Brace
hit.
yourself,
Hang in there, buddy.
Abelard.
Anything else?
Indeed. Victory is imminent.
Good job, Abelard. Keep him tied up.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I'll do it.
Probably swap weapons for this part.
I'll see to it personally.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands.
Who, if not me?
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Alright, well. A little time consuming, but we're coming out on top. Slowly but surely. I don't think there's any way he wins this fight now. No reason to finish him off because he'll come back because we haven't destroyed this unholy lens yet. So we'll just stand here and look pretty for a turn.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart!
I'm afraid not. If I may.
But of course.
There we go.
Anything else?
High momentum.
Oh, there's another one. Of course there is.
Cover me!
Just gonna rush it down if I can. Oh wow, 37 damage.
Was that you? Or...
Just out of range. Alright, little disarming attack action, and we'll eventually get to this thing. Yeah, out of range, but what else was I gonna do? I don't want to expose my character, so I think I'll keep him back.
I won't stand for it. Don't let your guard down.
Maybe right here. Have authority on her for the extra AP.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor demands, I act.
I won't compromise my principles.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Whoops.
I'll do it.
Well, it's a start.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment. They who discern the future own the battlefield.
Uh-oh. Going on there. Oh, okay. So he only got one respawn per lens. I don't believe we've been properly introduced. Blood is bubbling on the young man's lips, and his voice is barely audible, but even now it remains melodious and quite courteous. Yvain Winterscale, Af Coronis. Greatly pleased to make your acquaintance. On the rare days that Lord Winterscale visited Urok 5, the station was awash in a mist of warm hues. We were forbidden from meeting each other, but I was delighted still to see such rare colors in my home. Now, however, his colors are darkening, twisting from pain and bitterness. We must help Lord Captain. We must save the clarity of his soul, for he whose presence makes the world a little brighter deserves no less. Lady Cassia, I presume, the sacred child of House Orselio. How disgraceful it is that on the day we finally meet, Yvain looks away in shame. I find myself not at my best. There is no disgrace in your predicament, Lord Winterscale. The Lord Captain and I met under... similarly dreadful and tragic circumstances. What have they done to you? And the warden, my friend. I tried to convince him to stop the riot. Diplomacy failed. Speaking is a struggle, but he continues stubbornly. Father hates diplomacy, which is why I had to try. Conserve your strength. You're wounded and need help. Wounded. I would have phrased it altogether differently. Tortured and maimed, perhaps. Have you ever had your eyes burned out? This was my first time. I cannot say I recommend the procedure. He's either trying to make light of the situation, or growing delirious from the pain. I mean, he's got his charm turned on despite his current predicament. I must take my leave. I'll see to it that assistance is provided to you, and that you're escorted from here. He nods, giving into oblivion. That's our next meeting, Lord Von Valancius. I require some time alone with my thoughts. Alright, well, I'm going to call it here, and next time, we'll loot everything and examine everything, and then make our leave of the prison planetoid. We did not find Inquisitor Heinrich Van Calix. We're also not quite done here, so we'll see. Either way, for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.